Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, Air the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about the leftist terrorists who committed multiple misdemeanors and felonies by shutting down Cleveland Airport this past weekend, something the mainstream media here in the city of Ohio are easy to pick up on. For local media, I mean, on that one, not national news, obviously, which they didn't do a shit about either, for that matter. And then we're also going to talk about a concealed carrier out of Chicago that did his due diligence and rightfully dealt with the situation at hand by basically capping a motherfucker. I guess there's also another news too, for that matter. There's also video that's come out in New York City right now of that was done by the New York Post there of MS-13 gang members selling fake IDs, social security cards, and green cards to illegal aliens in this country. That right there is a scary factoid in of itself, just because of the fact that you never fucking know, man. You never know who's out there, what they're going to do to you, what they're going to try to do to you, etc. And yeah, like, we were in for some fucked up times ahead in this country, bro. And what's even more disgusting is, on top of all that, then you also had this other woman who, she was, I think she was an underage girl, actually, in Missouri. She had gotten into some kind of a fist fight with people in a school, like near the school, I think is what it was there, like just outside the school grounds is what it was there, in this road, basically. And you had this other chick fucking sort of clock her onto the ground, and instead of, like, picking her up and, like, knocking her towards the grass, she fucking takes her and then fucking just wham, 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 like 8 fucking times or something like that into the pavement. The last I heard, this girl's critical condition, and there's differing reports if she's in critical condition or she's dead now at this point. And yet, we know it's going to fucking happen because there's another black and white hate crime in this country. Nothing's going to happen there because of some piece of shit Soros DA is the fucking DA there in the St. Louis, Missouri area. And I almost guarantee you that this is Cori Bush's congressional district that's happening, which is exactly why BLM terrorist Cori Bush is have her ass fucking thrown out of Congress in general for this kind of shit, dude. Because this is her fucking voter base doing this crap, man. This is her fucking terrorist voter base is doing this kind of shit to people. And it's exactly what I've said many, many times in our nation, dude. We are really fucking close in this country right now to race wars within the Second American Civil War. And I believe it's only a matter of time before they start, honestly. And like I said before, I think what it would be more or less is it would be, people of the same race going off against each other and stuff like that, squaring up against each other is what it is there. But at the same time, I think there's also other people that would just take it interracially is what it is then. So, anyway. But I got, for those who can't hear it out in the kitchen there, I got some stuff cooking right now. I'm going to have to pop out there in about 5 minutes. A little under that right now. But hopefully we can get this done in the 5 minutes before we jump out there and I have to go do some stuff. I'm making some sausages right now, obviously. The last one's from the Giant Eagle pack. And then I'm going to do some bacon and eggs too here in a little bit during this stream, most likely. But yeah, so we had this one from Concealed Nation, which was 60-year-old concealed carrier fatally shoots armed robbery suspect at ATM in Chicago. So Chicago, Illinois, in the Auburn Grisham neighborhood of Chicago on Friday morning, a robbery attempt escalated into a fatal shootout. Around 5:30 a.m., a 60-year-old man using an ATM, my guess is he was either on his way to work or on his way home from work, maybe, given that time period. Because that would either be he was going for first shift to his job, or he was just getting off of overnights and graveyard shift and stuff like that, and coming home from the graveyard shift then, if that be the case, and just had to hit the ATM to get some money out or whatever then probably. So anyway, but yeah, so a 60-year-old man was using the ATM at West 82nd Street, was confronted by an armed man on a bicycle demanding his belongings. So the guy literally rode up on a bicycle and pulled a gun, and that's what it was. So the intended victim, who was legally possessing a firearm, engaged in a firefight with the assailant. The robber, whose identity remains undisclosed, was struck multiple times and later succumbed to his injuries at Christ Hospital. So the incident was also extended to a nearby Marathon gas station at 81st and Ashland, where the victim sought assistance following the exchange. So my guess is it was pretty close to that gas station. Would be my guess there is what it is. Like, from what it sounds like, it's probably like this was on 82nd Street was the ATM then, and it was 81st was the Marathon. So it's probably like right up the block would be my guess there. I don't know Chicago, so I'm assuming that's what it would be given the layout there. Anyway, it says victim sustaining injuries to his back and left arm, was also hospitalized at that same hospital, but is in stable condition. Police recovered 2 firearms from the scene and are actively investigating the circumstances of the shooting. So yeah, it sounds like a clear-cut case of self-defense and standing your ground on that one, man. So, good for that guy. Good for that guy. And that's what needs to happen to these fucking people, dude. Like, you want to sit there and you want to rob somebody and steal from somebody instead of going and getting a fucking job and pay for making money yourself and paying for shit yourself. This is what it is there. No, man, this is how you get fucking dealt with. You get smoked out, motherfucker. I do want to apologize to you for everybody. Over the weekend, I was gonna do stand your ground Saturday. Dude, my body was hurting so fucking much the other day. It's still hurting today, actually, even 2 days later. Couldn't deal with it then. I was going to do a takeover chat for Honda last night, and I'll tell you what, I ended up I was basically in and out of it here in the chair most of the day yesterday. And then I was having a real emotional day yesterday as well because of I ended up watching a movie yesterday, and I don't know why, for some reason, just something triggered it in me to think about mom. And yeah, I just had like a emotional breakdown basically again. We're going on 8 weeks since she passes, what it is right now. And, it's just a sad situation all the way around, man. And yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since I really had a good cry is what it was. And, thought I was going through the stages of grief and getting pretty close to the end there. But now it reveled it all back up yesterday. So kind of sucks, man. But anyway. But yeah, we're going to get to, I got about a minute or so here before I got to go check on these sausages again. And I'm going to cut one up when I go out there this time around, actually, and see if they're done, because they've been on for almost 17 minutes right now. So they should be pretty close to done if that be the case. That's the problem with these Giant Eagle ones, is it takes them like twice the amount of time as the Aldi's brand ones to cook, even at like lower heats and stuff. Because even at this low heat right now, if I had some Aldi's ones on there right now, they'd already be done like 10 minutes ago, basically. And yeah, these Giant Eagle ones ain't bad when they're fully cooked through, is what it is. But like again, it takes them I shouldn't have to sit here and wait like 20 minutes to eat food, basically. From those things, it should be like 10 minutes and done, bro. At any temperature heat, for that matter. Not, I can cut it. I'm gonna do it 5 minutes here, flip them over, do another 5 minutes on the other side, and then it turns out like fucking 10-15 minutes down the road or whatever, it's me popping them open and finding out that I can't even eat them because they're all fucking nasty and shit. So anyway, I will be back momentarily, and then we'll get to the Cleveland story of the day, is what it is, which is the one from from Saturday, actually, is what it was, when these piece of shit leftists terrorized this area and shut down Interstate 71, which, by the way, would have been a misdemeanor had it not been a federal interstate. What these people did is federal felonies, dude, and they should be charged with that right now. Are they going to be? Probably not, because again, it's fucking Biden's America, and they're not going to charge their own leftist pieces of shit terrorists out there that they want on the streets to be their little jackbooted thugs to commit fucking arson and everything else kind of terrorism this coming summer, to do more riots and shit like that. So, but yeah, we're getting to a point in time where a purge is definitely going to happen in this country, I believe. And by purge, I mean the Second American Civil War kind of purge is what it is then, where the left just finally gets theirs, and fucking gloves are off, motherfuckers, is what it is there. Actually, that was one thing the movie in question I was talking about too, by the way, was Grumpy Old Men. There was one great part in that though, was Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau going back and forth, and Jack Lemmon's like, and the gloves are off. And I was thinking about that. Like, that would be a great fucking gif or like meme to for upcoming Civil War and stuff like that. That's what it'd be, man. So anyway, but yeah, I'll be back momentarily, and then we'll get into Libs of TikTok bringing this thing to the Cleveland airport to my attention yesterday. Then, or yeah, it was yesterday. So we were doing it last night on the takeover. We had done the takeover then. So anyway, I'll be back in a couple minutes though. So hopefully you guys can hear me, and I'll just try to echo my voice out, is what it is right now while I'm doing these sausages up and whatnot and seeing how good they are. those interested right now, I'm trying to cut through these sausages, so hopefully they'll all be done. I'm going to do them here. The one was, but I'm not sure about a couple of other ones. No, it's okay. Alright, that should be good then. I'm going to throw the bacon on right now, and then I'll be back out in a couple minutes. Then is what it'll be. So, while we're doing that, I'm also going to do my eggs as well on top of that. A couple of these bad boys into the thing here. Let's see here. Shells and my damn eggs. So most likely, depending on how many of these are still good, hopefully it'll be all of them. I'm going to do a 5-egg scramble here in a little bit. First one of those I've done ever. So that's how many was left outside of all these ones from a couple weeks ago is what it was then. Okay, yeah, they're all good. Good. It's good. Okay, so go ahead and stir these bad boys up real quick, and we'll grab the bacon, throw that in, and then I'm going to go wash my hands in the bathroom here in a couple of minutes. There. This bacon. For a meal, that is what I'm making. Let's see what you got here. All right, it's going to take a while for that to fry up because I had 9 half slices left. I got to choose them off because they're kind of old. And I'm back. Okay. So we got probably about 3 to 4 minutes, so we need to flip that bacon. I'm going to go ahead and put a timer on my phone right now for about 4 minutes, give or take. I put a bunch in there. Unfortunately, the pan I was using was a little small, so I know not the top layer is probably not going to get cooked at all, really. So I'll have to keep flipping that shit around and then let the bottom layer that's been cooking flip up to the top, basically. It'll be probably a giant sheet of bacon when it's all said and done. So I'm assuming it'll take a little bit longer than normal, but yeah, these are the sausages I made today. Like I said, it takes about 17 minutes to cook them all the way through like that, and should be all the way done. Tastes good. Nice and hot. But what's interesting too is that looking at the Cleveland Airport thing there, what these pieces of shit did is, so here's the thing about impeding traffic. In all 50 states, it's a misdemeanor crime to do that because you're blocking people with slow traffic and stuff, which I'm sure happened because of shit like this, honestly, in 100 years ago or so, give or take, during the I think it was like 1917 or so was the or no, 1917 was World War One. It would have been 1932, I believe, was what it was, when they had the whole like communist revolution thing here in America. And it was there was a show on USA a few years back now. It only lasted for one season because it started out so fucking slowly, but by the time it was all said and done with the 10 episodes and stuff, it was actually really good at the very end of it, is what it was. And so what you ended up having was, it was literally about that time period of history where it was them having these people who were doing like communist stuff, and they were doing the same kind of stuff there. They were shutting down roads and whatnot. But the thing is, when you're shutting down federal highways like they did in 2020, it's a federal felony, dude. And they should be charged with that stuff, is what it is. So, but yeah, here's the Libs of TikTok thing from the other day. And then State Rep Brian Stewart here in Ohio, who's running for re-election right now, he actually called the shit out and how ridiculous it actually is there. Yes, it's pro-Palestine so-called protesters, which are terrorists, let's say what it is, dude. Blocked the entry to Cleveland Airport on Saturday. They caused massive delays in traffic. People had to get out of their cars and walk to their flights. Not a single arrest was made. This is the fucking problem right here, dude, because again, you're openly committing terrorist acts at that point, especially when they called it Shut It Down Cleveland. And yeah, they're literally using their vehicles to block fucking traffic, dude. Like, how is that even legal? It's not. That's the whole point, dude. And I'll tell you right now, if I was governor of this state right now, and if I become governor of the state in 2 fucking years, if we actually make it to 2026, dude, I'm fucking remembering this shit, dude. I'm putting this shit on the fucking list right now, because we're fucking slapping the fucking book on these assholes, dude. Like, there ain't no statute of limitations here, bitch. We'll charge these fuckers with fucking felonies at this point, dude, in a couple years' time then. Because that's what DeWine and the people should be doing right now, dude. Him, E.G. Yost, etc. They should be slapping these fuckers with the book at that point. You should be, number one, stripping them of licenses for life in the state of Ohio and across this country, actually, for that matter, if you can do that, obviously. They should never be allowed to drive over again in this nation, number one. Number two, every single one of their cars should be impounded and, seized and resold, then is what it is. And then, what else we do then? Obviously, charge them with the terrorist acts they're committing right now. Because the thing is, here's my thing right now, right? You want to do this on behalf of Palestine, dude? Then fucking move your ass to Palestine, bitch. Don't be pulling terrorist attack shit here on this country soil, dude. Don't be pulling fucking terrorist antic bullshit here on this country soil, motherfuckers. And it's really as simple as that is what it is. So, I'll be back in a minute or two. I gotta go flip this bacon real quick, and then we'll discuss more. This is what it is then. Get into the state rep stuff, and me calling out a bunch of leftists for what they did. There's what it is, and them trying to be like, oh, peaceable, this ain't whatever. And it's like, dumbass, you're not peaceably assembling at all, fucking idiots. And that's the problem right now. Okay, so some of that should be done in the next couple of minutes. And then the other stuff will have to be taking its place because it's not even really cooked at all right now. So let's go ahead and put this on for another 4 minutes right now. And then we'll talk a little bit more for that time. So anyway, the problem is, and again, it's these people, this one guy was using some dumbass Bernie Sanders meme and shit yesterday, talking about like, peaceably protesting isn't meant to be convenient or some stupid bullshit like that. It's like, first of all, you're not peacefully protesting, fuckhead. You are actively committing terrorist acts on this fucking country soil, you fucking douchebag. Just like you fuckers did, 2 fucking years ago almost at the Ohio General Assembly in December of 2022 is what it was there. When you pulled your Lily Antifa and BLM fucking terrorists riding there, dude, with Moms Demand Action and shit. And you did the same goddamn thing fucking 2 or 3 months after that, 2023 here, when you went in there and tried to bitch about fucking children on fucking hormone drugs and being sterilized with your fucking HRT shit is what it is. And you pulled the same bullshit again during another fucking committee hearing for that same damn thing is what it was, dude. So there's been at least 3 different fucking actual insurrections at the Ohio State House in the last 2 years now by these fucking leftist assholes. Not one of them has been arrested. Not one of them has been barred for life from the fucking state house for that shit, dude. Which they all should be, by the way. They should be arrested on fucking felony terrorism charges, and they should be barred for fucking life from going to the Ohio State House again is what it is there, man. Number 1. Number 2, this shit right here needs to be fucking federal charges for these assholes, dude. It's a bunch of shit that it's not. Actually, I thought this guy was pretty funny, actually, going to the responses in the Leftist TikTok comment section there. You had this guy say, protesters should step their game up and start blocking railroad crossings. I mean, to be fair, man, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Like, that's what it needs to be at this point, honestly, man, for real. So, and then that Paul, never sure how to pronounce that guy's last name. It's like SZYPU, whatever it is. He's got a blue check mark there. So this is how America ends when it literally grinds to a halt because domestic terrorists like the Pro Palestine people are allowed to shut down major roadways illegally. So if Trump supporters did this, you can guarantee that they would be arrested and prosecuted. Dude, we would be stripped of U.S. citizenship, which is exactly what's happening to these fuckers right now is what I'm saying, dude. Legitimately. None of these people, if you, seriously, again, because, and this is another problem with these people too, by the way. Some of the ones that were responding back to State Rep Brian Stewart, they're like, oh, you people seem to think that because we're pro-Palestine that we're also pro-Hamas. Because you fucking are, dickheads. It's one and the same at that point. You're pro-fucking terrorism, you fuckheads. Because you're committing fucking terrorism on U.S. soil, you fucking idiots. So, of course, you're fucking pro-terrorist, you dipshits. And that's another thing, too, by the way. If we really wanted to go hard on these fuckers, dude, they should all be rounded up at this point and charged with fucking aiding and abetting a known terrorist organization. Or whatever the hell that one charge is there. Where it's every time you go to... There was a guy talked about a couple months ago on this channel, actually. Or within the last couple months is what it was here. Might have been a couple weeks ago now, I think about it, actually. But yeah, he was charged because he had been... what was he doing now? He had provided material support. That's what it was. He was providing material support for a known terrorist organization overseas is what it was. How the hell is this not the same fucking thing, dude? When you're shutting down international airports, by the way, which is what Cleveland, Ohio's airport is for that matter. So you're allowing international flights pretty much to get backed up and shit like that because people can't go anywhere. There's no place for anybody to walk out to because they don't have cars there anymore is what it is, man, because everybody's fucking going to pick them up or whatever the case be, and they can't go there to get them and stuff like that because you're blocking the fucking roads. Number 2, like I said, federal felony on federal highways. Number 3, misdemeanor for just blocking traffic. It was not a federal highway. And yet they're not arrested for the shit. And that's why I'm actually going to call out the fucking, not Hamilton County, Cuyahoga County sheriff at this point, whose name I believe is, trying to think what that guy's name is offhand. I looked up the other day, actually. I'm going to look it up again now. It is, let's see here. That guy's name is Harold Pretel. I think that's how you pronounce it. Pretel. Let me go ahead and see if I can find a picture of this fucking guy. And I'll show you exactly what this motherfucker looks like then. Yeah, so we're calling you out, Mr. Cuyahoga County Sheriff Harold Patel. Do your fucking job, bro. You are the literal sheriff, buddy. Or is this the sheriff right here? Yeah, I think this is the sheriff right here. Yeah, you're the fucking sheriff of this county, guy. Do your fucking job, man. Actually, this probably is the guy right here, actually, because it says Hispanic and stuff. His name does kind of sound odd, so. But yeah, bro, like, you're the fucking sheriff of the damn county. It's your job to do your job and arrest these fucking people. It's federal agents' job, the same feds that fucking federally swatted me almost 5 years ago now, to do their fucking job and arrest these fuckers at federal levels, what it is, man. So do your fucking job, people. Arrest these fuckers, man. Be done with it. And I'll be back in a minute or two. I gotta go flip the bacon again. And I'm gonna go and take out some of the ones that are probably done at this point then, so. Okay, about 2/3 of that was probably cooked through at this point. There's one piece that ain't cooked at all, is what it is, so I'll put that one back on, obviously. Man, that is salty. Besides pulled out and ate. Anyway. But yeah, so these people are openly committing like terrorist attacks in this country, dude. And again, I'm not gonna call it like a terrorist attack, but it's like a terrorist act is what it really is, honestly. It fits the definition of terrorism at this point, which is basically, for those who don't know what definition of terrorism is, it is legitimately the unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians in the pursuit of political aims, which is exactly what they're doing right there. They're intimidating people by shutting down roadways illegally, by illegally blocking traffic, etc. Oh yeah, it's time for them to get their asses beat in the streets. Is what it is, dude, at this point in history. And the real problem I have with these people is calling them protesters, dude, because that's a big difference. They're not protesters at all, dude. They're domestic terrorists by definition, is what it is. Call it like it fucking is. Protesting is one thing. Protesting is you peaceably on a fucking sidewalk with a sign, or going to a state house, outside the fucking state house with a sign, and or even going to testify against fucking lawmakers and stuff like that for something they're doing there, is what it is, dude. And redressing grievances under the actual legitimate First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. So, what it is not is going there and blocking fucking traffic and impeding other people's stuff, dude. That's the thing, too, by the way. That's when you actually lose your constitutional rights, by the way, when you're actively fucking over other people's. And that's the thing, right? God forbid this had been another one of the situations where people were actually having to go to the hospital or something like that, dude. Hell, these fucking pieces of shit, when they block traffic like this, dude, have killed kids in the back of fucking ambulances that had to be emergency rushed to a hospital and couldn't get there in time because these fucking retards were blocking roads, dude. Which is exactly why, honestly, it should be legal to hit their asses at that point, dude. It should be legal to literally ram your fucking car through their fucking car is what it is then. Or if you have a bulldozer or whatever the hell it is, dude, or a Mack truck, whatever it is then, fucking smash through the fucking barricades is what it is, and then keep going. Which really, honestly, truthfully, you as an American citizen have a right to go over there, fucking clock them in the face, take their fucking keys, turn on their fucking vehicle, and move their fucking vehicle out of the way then. And simply move it to the side of the road then, get out of it, leave the keys there, you know, and simply then drive around is what it is then. So, but yeah, as this guy says, enough already with these so-called protesters that disrupt everyday people. It's been going on for too long, affecting too many people. There are better ways to protest and get your point across than disrupt other people's ability to go about their daily lives. So here's the problem with that, right? It's not protesting. It's domestic terrorism, dude. Number one. Number two, it's not a form of protest. It's a form of domestic terrorism. And why the fuck would they do it? Because they're domestic terrorists is what it is. Which I guarantee if they started RICO acting these fuckers for domestic terrorism, you would have a lot of them get what's coming to them and be arrested and be fucking dealt with accordingly. That's what it is, man. Seriously. But for Christ's fucking sakes, bro. It's not that hard to figure out, man. So, anyway. Let's see. Got some new people following the network too, by the way. We now have 81 followers following us currently. So, that's cool. I also found this video the other day. I thought it was kind of cute here. It's a bunch of little babies trying lemons for the first time. And just the reactions of some of these kids is pretty hilarious. Like, it looked like it was a restaurant one. Like, it's just like, oh, ew. That one just like, ugh. That little dude looked like he was not into it at all, man. That kid just like nasty. That little one's like, that took her a second to get there, man. It's funny. That little dude's not having it at all. Yeah, that one took a second to get to him. That little guy was like, nah, that's not cool, bro. This one kind of looked like my niece when she was growing up, actually. Like, she had the similar facial features of this little girl here. That girl was definitely not into it, man. It was that little guy. That dude's just like, nope, not having it, lady. So, yeah, I thought that was cute. But, anyway. Let's see here. Oh, then you had Tim Pool talking about 24% of Americans want to secede. Civil war being basically on the horizon. The thing that people don't realize is, man, we are legitimately already in a cold civil war and have been for a couple of years now. At least like the last 2 to 3 years right now. You need to wake up and realize that shit. And realize that we are to a point right now in history where shit's about to get fucking real, dude. And then, of course, you got, creepy pedophile pieces of shit out there. Like this sick motherfucker, this fucking drag queen fucker right here, man. There's a TikTok brought up here. It says, creepy grown man who dresses up as a woman and dances provocatively for kids tells kids on the internet that he loves them and suggests that they're unsafe because states are passing laws to protect kids by banning sex change surgeries. This is why we need one strike laws for sick fucks like this, man. These are the fucking people that are the problem in this country, man. That are going to sit there and fucking shake their cocks in front of little kids, man. And act like they're not grooming children and shit like that. Yes, you fucking are, you pedophile fuck. And you should be in prison for the rest of your life, if not just fucking taken out entirely at that point then. You know, immediate death penalty sentence would be then. So, because that's the thing, right? That there are a few crimes in our country right now that should be automatic death sentences in this country, dude. And I'm talking about on-the-spot executions, basically. That should be one of them. Child molestation should be one of them. You want to fuck kids, man? You want to fucking, you know, destroy a child's life? That kind of way? Then guess what? Your life is fucking gone, dude. You forfeited your life entirely at that point then. Fuck you. It's as simple as that, really. So, anyway. I'm going to go flip the bacon again, and then we'll talk a little more after that then about some other things going on. So, I'm going to try to put hopefully the bacon will be done at this point, then I can put the eggs on then. And let them cook for another 5-10 minutes or so, give or take. So, anyway. So now I realize I probably should have just taken that most of that bacon out of there and just left the one piece in there. And probably just throw the eggs in with it then, because I left that bacon there for too long for sure then. Just went back out and it got fairly charred. Most of the pieces that were still in there. Bacon sheet of charredness, basically. Comparing it to the stuff I took out a few minutes ago, it's pretty much done. This is just overly done, so. Well, I mean, it doesn't taste horrible, but it does taste kind of charry, though. Yeah. It's definitely a bit too charred. So, that's what it is, man. About 2 or 3 minutes, I can go back out there and do up the eggs then. Because they're cooking right now. I'm going to flip them then. And I should be done in about 5 or 7 minutes, though, give or take. It'll be 8. It all depends on how long it cooks some stuff like that. Like I said, I did a 5-egg scramble today, so. which is probably the biggest one I've ever done actually out there. So anyway, I think the biggest one I did before that was a 4-egg one. So, yeah, going back to them people though. They're domestic terrorists, dude. They always have been. And that's the problem right now. We're not treating them like that. Even though they should be treated like that. And of course, on top of that, you got fuckface Biden, you know, rightfully on the State of the Union address the other day, he rightfully called out that illegal alien is what he fucking was, the guy that killed Larkin Riley is what it is there. And then proceeded to, I believe it was Friday morning, then go on some fucking CBS, where the hell it was there, news channel thing with some interview or whatever, and basically apologize to the illegal who murdered this girl, dude. And be like, oh, I'm so sorry I called you an illegal alien in this country. It's like, fuck you, old man. So. I don't know if I can actually show this or not, but it's basically that Anakin Padme meme thing, though. And it's him as a Nazi guy talking about the Nazis liking to experiment mentally ill. And then it's Padme with the LGBTQ flag on her forehead is what it is there. And like, we do too. And then it's Nazi Anakin saying, by sterilizing and experimenting on them. And then it's Padme saying, we do too? That's the thing, though, right? That's what the fucking shit is, dude. That's what all those HRT drugs are, is what it is. They're fucking permanent sterilization of these kids, man. Hell, I was talking to my cousins the other day about this whole thing. Because it was my first and second cousins who are, they would have been my nephew, or not my nephew, would have been my mother's nephew, and I think great nephew is what they consider them, because it would be like our grandnephew, maybe something like that. Whatever like the grandson equivalent would be to like an aunt is what it would be, dude. So like if it would be her grandson, if it would have been like her direct grandson, it would be like she's the aunt of that kid instead of what it would be then. So, but yeah, it was those two guys I was talking to the other day. We were talking about one of our other cousins who would be my second cousin, who now calls herself a trans man is what it is, and went down that whole rabbit hole the other day. And it was interesting because I was talking about her brother, and going to his wedding there is what it was a couple of years ago here now, and discussing how it was what was it now? Yeah, it was discussing fucking hell. Mind is blanking right now. Oh yeah. It was us discussing his friends. That's what it was. And like his wife now is what it is. To a lesser extent. I didn't say wife, but that's same thing there is what it is though. But yeah, it's like all of his friends that I saw there at that wedding, that my cousin's friends there, or not really a wedding, it was the reception for his, because he already got married to her is what it was then. And it was like their anniversary thing, whatever, a couple months later, a year later, whatever it was then. And I'm like, these people all look like Antifa without the masks on, dude. And my second cousin there, that was the son of my other one here, is like, yeah, that makes sense. Because he was basically like agreeing that like, yeah, that dude's friends are Antifa. So like, I'm not surprised by it. And then my other cousin that was the older guy there was like, yeah, what's ridiculous is that you got, you know, our second cousin here, my second cousin here, this young girl that's, you know, going to be a trans man and stuff like that, who's actively allowed to do counseling in the state and look at vulnerable children and be like, okay, you're fine. You're just trans like I am kind of shit. And it's like, neither one of you are. That's the whole point. It's all fucking delusional mass mental institutionalization kind of shit, dude. It's all fucking nut job bullshit. And it's sad. And it's actually disgusting because it's permanent child sterilization of these fucking poor kids, man. So, anyway, I'm going to go flip these eggs real quick before they start burning. So, I'll be back in a couple minutes then. We'll talk more about that. Okay, so if I let that cook for about another probably 4 minutes or so, give or take, it should be all the way done and good, because when I flipped it on the other side, it was already kind of slightly blacky crisp on top. So, which I like to get it more brown than anything, but yeah, I think I waited a minute too long though, so I'll go out in about another. Let's go give it like 3 minutes or so, give or take. So when this hits about the 3-minute mark is what it is here, which will be 3 minutes from now. I'll go out there and talk. I'll go out there and do it again then. See if it'll be done. Then maybe just give it a couple presses or whatever the case be to make sure it completely cooks through, and then just pull it. Then is what it is, and we'll have some eggs then with everything else, which is going to be real good because those eggs were cooked in a mix of bacon grease and I think a little bit of sausage grease too, for that matter, which will make them really good then. So yeah, throw some ketchup on top of that big old pile and just get to town. Then is what it is then. So anyway, gonna need some more of this bacon then. But yeah, it's pretty ridiculous when you think about it, man. How much we've gone down a rabbit hole in this country to where you can basically have people who will sit there and actively push mental illnesses as if they're natural shit is what it is now. It just blows me away, honestly. It was even more ridiculous going back to my my cousin there, the one that considers himself a trans man now is what it is. Supposedly, the person that they're engaged to now is actually a biological man. That being said, if it's the same person I met at the wedding and then at the party about a year or so ago when Mom was still around, if it's that same person, I'm not so sure that they're actually a biological male. Because looking at that motherfucker, they look like they could have been another trans man, honestly. So essentially, what you're talking about is, again, it's kind of like the gay with more steps thing, except in this case, it would be the lesbians with more steps because if they're both, biologically female and they're living as trans men, like it's like, bro, like you're just two chicks at the end of the day that did a bunch of unnecessary surgeries to yourselves is what it is then. So that being said, though, if the other guy actually is a biological guy or not, I mean, if he actually was born a guy or whatever, then it's a thing where my cousin could actually get pregnant still because she's still a biological female, dude. Like, doesn't matter how many drugs you're on or not there, man. Like, you can still get fucking pregnant and have a kid is what it is then. So, but yeah, I think the real problem is it's delusional mental illness in this country. It's people that want to keep pushing shit on kids and then not get called out for being a bunch of sick fuckers. And it's all predatory behavior is what it is, dude. And it's like that that one chick said here a couple years ago, which is she was a teacher. And she was like, oh, yeah, like you have these people out there who are, pushing this mental illness on kids and stuff like that. And it was all these young white girls at the time, that's what my cousin is. She's obviously a white female is what it is then. Biologically white female. And it's that they need to have an oppression. And that was in like grade school / middle school these people were talking about, dude. And I know for a fact my cousin went to college and that's what happened to her at college what it was, dude. She fucking... found she was basically a shy girl who was probably preyed upon by some cultish crowd, is my guess. And they're like, we'll be your friends. You can be trans like we are. Kind of bullshit there. And that's what pushed her down that fucking pathway, dude. And it's just sad and disgusting all at the same time. And it's actually what made me want to write that book. And I'm actually going to start writing that book again, which I'll be calling Generation Sterilization, which is going to be legitimately about these kids that, have gone down this pathway. And then in some cases, like your cases like Chloe Cole, et cetera, there have realized it's not they've basically been pushing this shit by sick ass adults who just want to make a fucking profit off children. Is what it is right now, dude. That's what it really is the other day. It's Big Pharma trying to push a lifetime fucking patient on kids is what it is, man. It's fucking absolutely disgusting. It's crimes against humanity, etc. There. It needs to be treated as such at this point in history. So, anyway. I'll be back in a minute or two. Gotta go get the eggs off. Yeah, this is looking real good, man. Real good. Got some apple juice in this bad boy. Yeah, all right then. Yeah, it's like the perfect cook right there on the eggs, on this side anyway. There's a little bit of excess grease there. I noticed that when I was going back out there. I had like above the top kind of thing. It's kind of nasty, but it's one of those situations where I almost need to take a, when I went to flip them, what I should have done was I should have taken the pan and just kind of dumped out a little bit of stuff into a can or something like that. And then let them, fry up after that. That's what it was then. But anywho, so we're going to go ahead and try these, see how good they are with that bacon sausage grease mixture on them there. My thought process anymore is like, I assume if we do actually have a civil war go hot in this country, I'm probably going to die within the first 30 days of it. And, I'm going to go down swinging, obviously. And my thought process right now is like, might as well just, live every day to the fullest. I don't plan on living past the age of, 40-ish, give or take now. Especially if we start civil war this summer. So I figure might as well just live every day to its fullest here and, do what needs to be done and eat whatever the fuck I want kind of thing is what it is then. So now, granted, that being said, I do have a 5-year plan if this country doesn't go to hell this year is what it is. So, which that 5-year plan includes running for governor next cycle is what it is then. So. But even still, you gotta live a little, man. And it's not like I'm eating this shit every day either, for that matter. This is the first time I've had this in probably 2 or 3 weeks now, would be my guess. It's really good, though, by the way. I need to go grab my, I forgot to grab my apple juice out there, so I'm going to grab that real quick then. And I'll come back out. So you guys will see the empty chair for a minute. Get this good juice here. Feels better. Thinking about maybe putting on the cowboy hat today. Because there is a new sheriff in town, baby. I was watching Maverick the other day. Such a good movie, by the way. That's the one thing about that movie. You can tell who the villains are in it because they got the black hats on. Is what it is then. So it's kind of funny. Honestly, this was the only reason I got this one because it's the only one they had in that place then. Plus, you know, you can't go wrong for buying a hat 50 cents, man. So the only better deal you could get was a quarter, honestly. Which, you know, good luck finding that someplace. So. But yeah, I'm hoping to get into some kind of reselling pretty soon then. Reselling some of the stuff that I picked up there the other day. Making a little bit of money off of it, and then hopefully going back over there, go with my cousin in the coming weeks here and find a few more things then, and hopefully flipping some stuff there as well too, for that matter. So. That's not quite totally done. There's a little bit of fat in the middle that needs to be cooked out, though. It's close, though. Comparing it to the burn one, though, it's like night and day. So, anyway. I also want to point out something, too, with that whole thing with the Cleveland airport. This conveniently happened, like, right as Ramadan is starting. So, you know. And then, of course, you got all these dickhead leftists that are all like, genocide this, genocide that. It's like, okay, let's talk about the genocide of Americans, dude. How about let's talk about that? Nobody gives a fuck about Palestine, dude. If you do, go to fucking Palestine. I care about Americans like Lake and Riley being worked out by fucking illegals in this country, man. By people who have no business being here in the first place. Killing our fucking generation of people, dude. Destroying the ability for people to ever be having another generation of this country. I care about fucking these pieces of shit that call themselves doctors sterilizing the next generation of kids with their bullshit big pharmaceutical crap, dude, that doesn't need to be in children's bodies, and calling it transgenderism. Those are the genocides I care about. But of course, that's what the left is fucking cool with, dude. They're perfectly fine with killing off Americans. They're perfectly fine with sterilizing kids. They're perfectly fine with all that shit. Because they are the fucking problem in this country. They are the fucking enemy of this country, dude. And they should never have citizenship of this country ever again, is what it is. It's as simple as that, really. So, anyway. See what else is going on in X right now. Can't show that. So we got dumbass Frank LaRose talking about veterans and freedoms and stuff like that. I don't know, man. Unfortunately, with the three guys that are in the race right now, he's pretty much the only one that is worth voting for. I hate to say that, even though he's a scumbag. Oh, this one I thought was pretty interesting, too, by the way. This is something that Congressman Tom Massey brought to the floor the other day during one of the hearings there, which was maybe 10 people in it here, it seems like, where he was talking about government trying to sneak this $15 million funding to start electronically tagging cows and bison in Kentucky. It says, quote, mandating electronic tags for cattle is the beginning of the end for the American rancher. The cattlemen's in Kentucky, no, this isn't just another expense for them, because this is an on and off switch that will prevent farmers from marketing their cattle if they're not in compliance. This is the beginning of the end of American rancher. It is the beginning of the end of multi-generational farms in Kentucky, is what Massey said. Thing is, though, what he also called this was CBDC, central bank digital currency. That's what it is, dude. They are, this is the, by the way, I want to point something out. This is the exact same bullshit they did in the fucking Netherlands a couple years ago now, dude, where you have farmers literally spraying shit on parliament in that fucking country and other countries over there overseas because they are trying to destroy their fucking ability to produce meat for the country and to produce actual sustainable living and being able to live off their group without fucking government shoving their dick up your ass is what it is then. You want to know how they enact the Gen 2030 bullshit, dude, where it's whole eat bugs, have nothing, be happy, all bullshit like that? It's fucking ways like this, dude. It's putting in horseshit unconstitutional legislation to tag every single cow, every single cattle, etc. there, and force Americans to not be able to have enough meat to go around. Oh, and by the way, at the same time, selling crazy amounts of our meat to fucking China and shit like that, dude. Seriously, why the fuck are we still selling pork, chicken, beef, etc. to any other fucking country, dude? No, fuck them people. Keep that shit here in America. Tell them to eat shit is what it is, dude. Especially the fucking Chinese for that matter. They're a fucking enemy, bro. Why the fuck are you feeding them? Starve these cocksuckers out. We should have starved them out fucking 25 years ago. Hell, whenever they enacted that dumbass one-child policy back in the 90s, early 2000s, whatever it was there, dude. We should have fucking nailed them to the ground, one-punched them right then and there, and fucking kicked their dick in the dirt so hard, they could never come back from that shit, dude. Hell, now they have to import fucking females from places like South Korea to even have kids now, because shocker, during the dumbass one-child policy, you had little girls being chucked off fucking, newborn little girls being chucked off fucking bridges in China there, dude. Because everybody wanted to fucking male heir is what it was for their one child. And now you got too many dudes and not enough chicks is what it is then, dude. And that's exactly why China's trying to make moves now and basically fuck us over now is what it is, dude. Because they know they only got like a couple years left before they're fucking completely dead as a society then is what it is. Because they have no generational fucking endurance like America does right now. And as it does with America, like we need to stop the shit with the fucking, abortion and stuff, period, dude. Because that's what's going to kill us off as a country right now. I mean, hell, when you got illegals being imported in this country right now, dude, that are outnumbering us and outpacing the birth rate for the last couple of years, that's a huge fucking problem, man. And I've talked about that many times. Like, enough is enough of that shit, dude, for real. Like, there should be no immigration at all into this country ever again for at least 100 years. And even then, after 100 years, it should be looked at and be like, obviously at that point, you'd have like a whole bunch of generations being born then. You'd probably have like at least like, 3-4 new generations of Americans at that point, and we look at these people and be like, hey, we got enough people here already. Do we really need these people coming into our country now? No, we don't. Okay, fuck off then. And we just keep having no immigration in this country ever again is what it is then. You just have Americans having families again. 6, 7, 10 deep, etc. there. So, we'll be much better off as a country then, dude. You got fathered homes, you got people being given good educational systems, etc. there. And all the trash is ostracized out of our society, permanently exiled from this country's soil, etc. Omar and her fucking people are all tossed the fuck out finally. And we have a better nation overall in 100 years from now. A nation that at that time is still very much a constitutional republic, and is actually more towards our founding fathers' ideals of this country. Being a Christian nation. Not that fucking lie during JFK's administration about the whole melting pot bullshit. For those who don't know about that one, there's actually evidence of that, where it was the whole Statue of Liberty thing with the plate where it has all that crap about tired, hungry, poor, all that crap like that is what it is on that. That was never actually on the original statue. It was given to us by the French back in I want to say it was a gift for the American Revolution, maybe, or something like that. I want to say something like that is what was given to us. But yeah, there was never an inscription on that plate at all. Is what it was there, dude. That the Statue of Liberty is holding there as the plates and stuff, or the tablets, what do you call them there? And yeah, it wasn't until I believe it was like 1960-ish, give or take, after JFK won the presidency, that you actually had the deep state, et cetera, at the time going to him and being like, hey, let's put this on here and, claim we're a melting pot country and stuff like that, even though we weren't at the time. We never will be, actually, for that matter. Because that's not what our founding fathers wanted, dude. They meant for us to be a white nation. Period. A white Christian nation, actually, for that matter. Now, granted, I'm not saying you couldn't have other people here in, like, smaller numbers and stuff, but, like, that's the problem, though. When you bring them in record numbers, dude, you know how to assimilate into this country. That's what creates the fucking chaos we're seeing right now is what it is, dude. When you have no assimilation, when you have no, societal behaviors, some of them deemed obviously, this is not okay for society, versus some that are like, okay, cool, this is how society should function, high trust society, etc. There, dude. I should be able to walk into a store at any time in any fucking city in this country right now. I don't care if it's a Walgreens or a Walmart or whatever the case be, dude. Pick something up off the shelf, go up, pay for it, walk out the door with it then, with my purchased item. I shouldn't have to walk around to fucking any major city in this country, walk into these same places, and there's fucking shit behind glass everywhere. I have to call an attendant to then have to buy the shit right on the spot then. I've had to go buy 10 other things for that matter, dude. Because a bunch of motherfuckers want to steal shit in this country. Both illegals in this country and a bunch of fucking minority kids for that matter. And they want to sit there and cry racism when you call them out for that shit. It's fucking ridiculous is what it is, dude. It pisses me off. I know I'm not the only one who pisses off too, for that matter, dude. There's a lot of other people out there from that. Hell, I know there's a lot of good black people out there that pisses off, dude, because it fucks them over too, for that matter. It's like the same thing like these dickheads back in 2020. They're talking about, they want to talk about food deserts and shit like that after that. But yet you're burning down the local fucking grocery stores and stuff like that. That then grandma who's on a fixed income and doesn't have a vehicle has to get on a bus to go someplace. Now has to get on a bus and go 6-7 extra blocks instead of just being able to go down the corner store and pick up some stuff, you fucking dickheads. Oh, because you want to be a little fucking trailer trash pieces of shit is what it is there, man. So, bunch of shit, man. Fucking irritates the hell out of me is what it is, dude. Not to mention all the small businesses they burned down in these cities and stuff too back in 2020, where you had, your local Arby's, Wendy's, whatever it was, dude. It was technically a chain place, but it was a franchise place that somebody had to franchise themselves into, paying, $10, $20, $30,000, whatever it was, out of their pocket. And so, yeah, it was run by a mom and pop business. Actually, it just happened to have a franchise name on it, is what it was then, man. And now those people can't rebuild there because they got nothing in the insurance claims. Or if they did, why the hell would they rebuild in your shitty fucking city, man? And not go to some places high trust society then. It's like that one guy. There was that one that was probably like a 50-something-year-old black guy. And I think it was either Minnesota or Wisconsin. And it was during the riots. He was like a week or two from opening his business there. And you have these motherfuckers come in there and start stealing his shit, man. They broke into his business. He literally caught him in the act of stealing his fucking safe. And then, yeah, they basically torched his fucking business to the ground is what it was, dude. Because that's how much of a bunch of pieces of shit these people really are, man. They want to sit there and talk about Black Lives Matter, this and that, and everything else like that, dude. But yet, they're willing to burn down a black man's fucking business for their own fucked up ends is what it is. Explain that shit to me. It's a bunch of nonsensical crap is what it is, man. It's like the same exact BS with back in the race riots in 92 there, where you had another guy there who was probably like in his 60s, I'm guessing. Older black guy there who had a hammer in his hand and stuff like that. It's one of the ones that if you watch the Roof Korean Mad Lads from Count Dankula, it has a clip in it there is what it is. And this old guy's basically walking around with a hammer in his hand, screaming and bitching at everybody in the town there is what it is, the city there, in that block area there. And being like, why are y'all stealing my shit from a fellow black man? He's like, I'm from the ghetto too. I worked my ass off to get here, man. Y'all stealing my computer? It's like, what the fuck, bro? And he's right about that. And that's because they don't care, dude. That's the problem. They don't give a shit about you. All they care about is themselves. All they care about is, let me get mine and fuck everybody else kind of shit. And that is a low trust society right there, dude. That's the problem. That's what that creates. That creates the lowest trust society ever imaginable. And then you wonder why every African nation in Africa is a fucking shithole. There's a reason why you don't have those people having high-tech fucking Wakanda cities, dude. Because they rather tribalistically go kill each other and stuff like that every day. Hell, they're not even smart enough to be able to make food. So they're making fucking They're taking fucking dirt and water and calling them dirt cookies or something like that, dude, and giving them to the kids. And it's a piece of fucking clay they're putting in their stomach, dude. And then you wonder why they have this in their stomach and they're all fucked up and have a bunch of health issues. Like, bro, it's fucking retarded. Like, that's what I'm saying. Or in that same case, I watched the what's it called? That best cook. I forget what that guy's thing is. Something about best show ever, or whatever. Where it's the white guy that goes around different countries and eating stuff and stuff like that. And yeah, he went over to one of these countries, dude. And it wasn't even it wasn't even one of the African countries. It was like some Brazilian country or something like that. And they were eating these big ass fucking bugs. It was like some giant ass wasp. And it's like, bro, it's disgusting. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And then you realize it's because these people will eat anything to survive is what it is, man. Same thing with Chinese, dude. Where they had fucking, it's called three squeaks is what they call it, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And it's literally live baby mice. And it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, what is the matter with people, man? Seriously. Like, how do you go down a rabbit hole where you're like, okay, this seems like a good thing to eat, and it's literally a fucking living mouse. Like little pinkies is what they are, actually. Or they're only like a couple days old or whatever then. But it's like, still, it's like, that's nasty, bro. Like, at least, fry them up anyway, for God's sakes. Has to do with other stuff over there, actually. Hell, I was at a Chinese restaurant the other day. I think I had some questionable stuff there is what it was, dude. They called chicken. So, but yeah. I'll tell you what, though. That shit was really bland. When I was out with my cousins, my one cousin wanted to go to the one of the buffets around here is what it was, and we ended up going over there and eating then, and it was like, I'll tell you what, dude, you could tell the difference between the temperatures from the outside to the inside, because it was like 40-something degrees that day or whatever. Actually, I think it was like 50, and then it became like 40 by the time we left, was what it was then. It was still pretty warm, though, actually, for being like mid-40s or whatever. But yeah, you could see from the door, like looking at the inside the door is what it was, dude, there. It was like just pure condensation there. And when you go inside the place, you're getting like hit with like a heat wave, basically, is what it is there. Because it's like 89 degrees inside or whatever the case be then. Or like pretty hot there is what it is. Like high 70s, low 80s, something like that. They had the temperature set to then. And then you go back outside and you're just like, whoa, that's a cold front. Like I remember when I walked out the door that day, I'm just like, ooh, that feels good. Because it was like nice and cool then. And I think there's a reason for it, honestly. It's because they want people to not be in there long enough or whatever the case be to really get their money's worth. And I think if you put it at higher temperatures too, for that matter, it allows for your natural digestion to not want to kick in as much or whatever then. So it makes sense. And on top of that, obviously, for having to be like just hot temperature overall, then it's a way for them to not have to keep the shit at temp like it needs to be. Because there was a couple things there, like I said, that were very questionable. Like the first, when we were going through the line and stuff like that, I grabbed some, I think it was chicken and broccoli or whatever, and it was very cold, actually. Like it needed to be basically sent back and like steamed up again or whatever the case be for a couple minutes or something, dude. But it wasn't. And then as I was going back up for the second round or whatever, then the guy was putting out like a fresh batch, and I'm just like, ooh, that looks good. And you can see the steam coming off of it and stuff like that. I'm just grabbing pieces of that and be throwing on my plate and stuff like that. And it was fairly good though. The only thing I did not like from there, they did these weird little chicken wings that they were frying up, but it almost looked like they took like pieces of wing that wasn't really like a wing or whatever, because it was like the bone had been like sliced off somehow or whatever the case be there. And the problem was they didn't slice off the inner skin, and then they breaded over the outer like gross skin is what it was, and that couldn't be cooked fully through is what it was then. And then they put like the chicken shit over what do you call it now? the breading over it then. And so yeah, when you went to take a bite of it, it's just like pure skin in your mouth basically, and it's just nasty. So you had to like pull that away as much as possible, and then like try to eat the inner parts of it, which weren't 100% cooked together for that matter. And I'm just like, yeah, this is nasty. I'm not eating this then, and kind of just toss it to the side what it was then. So, but yeah, anyway. That's why I tend to cook my food all the way through, man. Just to make sure I don't get parasites and shit. So, I mean, these sausages. Obviously the eggs here and stuff like that too as well. So, which we're almost done with eating these now. Cut these up to smaller pieces actually right now. That's the only good thing about making these eggs the way I do right now. It's basically like a giant, like, hard sheet almost, I guess is what I call it. Because it allows me to take a knife and fork and be able to cut through them. That's another problem with that buffet too, by the way. So they gave you your silverware. It was a knife and a fork and a spoon. There was no knives. Like, bro, what the fuck? And some of that stuff needed to be cut in half. So, anyway. But yeah, it's definitely one of those places I don't want to go to ever. Well, I wouldn't say I'd never go to it again, but it definitely is one of those places I don't want to go to frequently is what it is then. So, but again, I had to pay for the meal, so that's all hours honestly, or somebody else did. So, that piece of bacon just tasted burned. Yeah, that wasn't very good. But anywho, so yeah, then you had the dickhead leftists that were basically arguing about the Cleveland airport shutdown there, but not being domestic terrorism, even though clearly is what it is. And it's like, bro, just fuck off. If you want to be pro another country, take your ass to that country, rescind your citizenship in this country, fuck off. And really, at this point, it seems to be have your citizenship restricted and told to fuck off. You know, at the barrel of a gun then. By military, etc. there. So. But yeah, bunch of shit, dude. Anyway, let's see, going back to the going back to my feed here, we got that Paul guy that came up in the comment section again here. I'm not going to show this video, obviously, because what the fuck, man? Dude. I am going to put this on the network's page. That was what it is on X there, so people can watch it if they want to watch it. So you got, it's black dude beating the fuck out of a white guy in the parking lot. His white chick tries to jump in on that one. This dude legitimately goes full wrestling move on her, does like a full, like, almost looks like he's trying to do like a hurricane on the guy somehow or whatever. But he just like fucking flips her completely around and just right on the fucking ground, knocks her ass out cold, man. Again, this is what became nice things, by the way. This is what came of a high trust society because of shit like this right here, man. You got motherfuckers just trying to attack people for no reason at all. It's disgusting. Let's see here now. We got the BIPOC doing racism guy saying just another one just happened last Wednesday. Last week, their kids are targeting our kids. Says Wilton, Illinois. 2 students at Wilton Warrenville South High School have been charged with getting into a fight on school grounds. 2 male juveniles face charges of aggravated battery on public property, which is a Class 3 felony. According to local officials, a school resource officer was alerted to potential medical emergency involving a male in the Commons area around 11:40 a.m. on Wednesday. Yeah, it was basically black males beating the fuck out of white kids, dude, is what it was. Again, and people wonder why we want school choice about it, dude. You shouldn't have put up with that shit at all, dude. What's even more disgusting, by the way, is that you had the state of West Virginia. They were finishing up their General Assembly for the year the other day, And they could have put through this piece of legislation, which they should have, by the way. They should have made sure it got through to Jim Justice's desk because the governor there. And what it would have done was it would have actually allowed for teachers to be able to essentially expel on the spot kids that were being unruly and threatening them and stuff like that. And yet it didn't go through the General Assembly all the way is what it was. It's like a bunch of bullshit entirely, dude. It's like, nah, man. Go back into special session in the coming week or two now, dude, and pass that shit specifically and take it all the way there. And then Ohio needs to do the same fucking thing after that, man. Because that's the thing. People don't know this. I talked about this a couple months ago. Maybe actually probably almost a year ago now. I'm thinking about it. Because it was on. It was some chick, some woman who was in her, I think late 40s, early 50s, someplace in there, and was a teacher at one of these schools who had retired now. And she was talking about during Obama's administration, like the last 4 or 5 days when he was in office there, he signed in some bullshit executive order there that was kind of like Bush's No Child Left Behind, except for this one, it was basically no child could be expelled for fucking fighting and stuff like that. And it was specifically to cuck for all these fucking black criminal teens that are in the fucking school system now is what it is, man. They're trying to beat the shit out of people. And it's like, meanwhile, you got kids of all races trying to actually learn that's what it is. You know, white, black, Latino, etc., man. So... And so they're not allowed to expel these pieces of shit, even though they're like literally fucking fighting kids, man. They're trying to disrupt classes and stuff like that while people are trying to learn. And then again, you wonder why the couple bright kids that are actually there of that same race can't get ahead because these fucking idiots are fucking over their lives is what it is, dude. And it's kind of like the same thing when people talk about, like, you know, black communities and stuff like that. And you got somebody that makes it out of the hood or whatever the case be, and then never come back and shit like that. And they're just like, bro, what the fuck you doing for me? It's like, why would they do anything for you, dude? You were actually good on shit like 20 years ago for even being there and trying to make something themselves what it is there. So, yeah, it's all fucking nonsense, man, is what it is. But anyway. Shit's really, really good, man. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, it's a bunch of crap, dude, entirely. So, obviously, daylight savings time kicked in yesterday. So we're now back to the 8 o'clock resets on the game. So that's fun. I actually need to jump back in there now because I think we're at the tail end of double points for Rescue Rick right now. So I haven't done anything yet as well, for that matter. Huh. Let's check this one out, actually, before we go, though. Looks like some dumbass California bill here. Let's see. California's most insane bill yet, AB 2031. A new bill just introduced by Assemblyman Reggie Jones Sawyer, this fucking dumbass right here. Said bill seeks to grant illegals convicted of serious and violent crimes with legal assistance, such as helping them avoid deportation. Why the fuck does Reggie still have fucking U.S. citizenship in this country, dude? Fuck this guy. Fuck this fucking guy, man. Strip his ass of citizenship. Boot him out of the fucking California State House entirely, man. And fucking throw him out of this country on his fucking ass, man. Seriously. Enough is enough of these fucking people being in power, man. It's fucking ridiculous, man. We'll throw this one to the network here because I can't show it on camera. Obviously, we got gas station shootout in Memphis, Tennessee. Not sure if this was recent or if this is from a couple years ago now. I mean, hell, it wouldn't surprise me if it was like 2 days ago, honestly. Over the weekend or something, or it could have been fucking a year and a half ago for that matter. Happens all the time. That's what the problem is, dude. Again, this is why if you're going to get stuff done in a given day, man, do it before noon usually if you can, because a lot of these people are lazy motherfuckers, dude. Don't want to be it before noon. So if you go out in the morning, you know, go get your banking done at like 9 a.m., 10 a.m., whatever it is, dude, et cetera, et cetera. And you don't even have to worry about it then. So that's the one thing that always bothered me with See, this guy's asking, do Western men find Christian chicks like this attractive? Fuck yes, we do. Why wouldn't I, bro? All three of them females are hardcore wife material. The one in the middle, though, looks like she's got a spray-on tan, though, which I'm not a fan of. I prefer to see her in her actual skin tone. So, I mean, she's still a good-looking chick, but yeah, it's like a whole thing, man. I would definitely prefer my ladies a little bit paler than that. Because the real problem is, and the reason I say it obviously is for this reason specifically. The real issue I have with these people, though, is what will happen is, depending on if they do a spray on tan or however they do it, there's what it is. You'll have a chick who will do that kind of stuff or whatever, or she'll go out and do like an actual tan on the beach or whatever then. And what'll end up happening is she will basically be wearing her, bikini top and bottom and stuff. And so what you'll end up with is this fucked up look where she takes her top and her bottom off then when you're about to have sex with her and stuff like that. And she has these weird ass fucking like pale areola areas and stuff like that is what it is, dude. And the same thing like with her snatch area, where it's all like this pale white color and then the rest of it's all like super tan around it. And it's like, I find that very unattractive personally. And I think there's other guys out there that will agree with me on that one, dude. Probably girls too, for that matter, honestly. That are obviously lesbians and stuff. So then, of course, you got going back to the HRT thing here. You got this lunatic ass old woman right here. This old fucking nut job grandmother talking about what grandma says she would love for her 6 and 8-year-old grandchildren to get on hormone blockers, but wouldn't want them to get tattoos because the tattoos are too permanent. Why do we have the 19th Amendment again, man? Seriously. Like why is the 19th Amendment by default again? Please explain this to me. So. Yeah, I swear to God, our world is just gone insane, man. One thing that will bring some little bit of faith in humanity / doggos back is what it is here. I think we're going to leave it off with this clip here of the dogs, which is they called it Guardian Angels, and there's a bunch of golden retrievers just watching over the baby. I saw a good one too the other day where it was you had 3 golden retrievers, and it was the one was a pregnant female or whatever, and they had a cat, and then the cat ended up having was basically being surrounded by puppies all the time and like freaking out and trying to get away. It's kind of funny. So, but yeah, I think we'll leave it off with that one then, because. Oh, for those who don't know, there is now cannibal gangs in Haiti chasing people around to eat them. And these are the same people that dipshit Biden wants to import into America, by the way. So he wants to bring little cannibalism to America is what it is, dude. No, thanks. I'm good, bro. I'm good with not bringing the Clinton crime family's shithole country into mine. They can fuck off into their own country is what it is, man. But yeah, what happened there was you had a basic prison break in Haiti the other day, like almost a week ago, I think is what it is now. And yeah, you had a bunch of people break out of prison, and a bunch of them are going on a cannibalistic fucking, killing sprees and eating people and stuff like that, dude. So again, like I feel like Alex Jones is a predictor of reality that's just delayed by like a year or two is what it is anymore, dude. Because again, going back to that rant he did a couple years ago about eating the neighbors and stuff like that, man, like pretty much what the fucking cannibal people are doing there in Haiti right now, dude. And they're trying to pull that shit to America now. It's like, no, bro, fuck these people, man. They're not. That's the thing. They're not even human anymore, dude. They're fucking cannibal nut jobs at that point. There's some hills have eyes, fucking inbred motherfuckers or whatever, then, dude. So, anyway, that's about it for the day, though. Hope you guys enjoy this episode. I will be back at some point here in the coming week. Not exactly sure when yet. I don't think I'm going to be able to do Buckshot Thursday or Freedom Friday this week, just because my sister is going to be in town to help us. Help me, and then eventually my brother coming in on Saturday, and the 3 of us will help each other then. Start cleaning the place up around here. Then is what it is, and them figuring out what they want to take from the house and small items they can box up and take with them back to Columbus. Then is what it is there. So, yeah, pretty much that's where we're going right now, and But yeah, other than that though, it's so yeah, pretty much Thursday and Friday I'm gonna be. She and I will be working together then, and trying to get this place as clean as possible then, and do what needs to be done for it and whatnot. And then from there, it'll basically be. Uh, we'll do a bunch of other stuff then after that then, and I will be. I'm not sure if she's coming on Wednesday or Thursday then, so I might do another chat later today at some point under a different account, obviously, because it's going to hit the 20-hour mark for the month ends what it is until the 25th. So I got 2 more weeks then until it pops back into having a free time period then. So I'll probably jump on one of the other accounts then and do something there. Maybe another gaming stream on the Leftist Internet channel or whatever the case be or something then. There's today or tomorrow. And then probably another Grandstand or something then in the coming days as well, depending on what's going on, nationwide and whatnot. Obviously, Honda should be back from his weekend trip with the boys there on by Tuesday for the Tuesday chat. Then so we'll be on his channel for that. Then obviously, and that's pretty much my plans for the week right now. Is basically doing his chat on Tuesday, and then maybe I'll do something during that time. If nothing else, what I will end up doing is we'll end up doing a. I know that my siblings will be leaving here at some point on Saturday night, I think is what it is. And if I'm still good to go that day, if I'm not tired as fuck, whatever the case being, feeling like shit, basically, I'm going to hopefully be able to do a Stand Your Ground Saturday then. I'm debating about what I'm going to do on this one, though, because there's a couple different stories I'm going to talk about that obviously there's a couple of them that are technically Stand Your Ground kind of scenarios and stuff like that from people. And then there's other ones I heard about recently that really aren't that way. I know I was going to do the Kyle Korth one the other day, which, I'm not so sure I really want to do that one anymore, honestly, because that one should be one down the line anyway, because, again, it's this weird situation where maybe it's self-defense, maybe it's not. There is some lawsuits going on with that one currently. I prefer to do it, later on down the road when we actually have, the lawsuits settled or whatever the case be then, potentially. Or at least close to being settled then. And I feel like there's other Stand Your Ground situations out there of people that we should cover more is what it is then, that maybe have been covered here and there, but not really. Obviously, we did the Daniel Perry case the other day. I'm thinking actually maybe doing the Daniel Penny case for that matter. That real high profile one out in New York City there, where he chokeholded the guy, that fucking piece of shit in the subway that was trying to kill everybody and stuff like that, and then got charged with murder there in New York, even though it was a technical Stand Your Ground case is what it is there. Now, granted, he didn't even actually have a firearm with him at the time, but it was the guy's being charged over some bullshit is what it is, man. Or like that one guy in New York City, too, for that matter, a couple months ago then, who, pulled his gun in self-defense and, fire one in the air to stop some dude from raping some woman is what it is then, instead of just shooting that guy like it should have and fucking ending a threat permanently like that guy in Chicago did. And now the woman's all coming out and being like, he shouldn't have used a gun to help me not get raped. It's like, what the fuck, lady? Again, he really should have just walked away from the whole thing and been like, fuck you, bitch. Honestly, that's what should happen in that one. But yeah, it's just so ridiculous, man, is what it is. So I think that whatever podcast was on last night, so I may go check that out and see if there's anything worthwhile to discuss about that later on or whatever, dude. Because there was that clip that came out, obviously, from the other one where it was that girl talking about being into BJJ and the bullshit story of the female breaking all these guys' legs and stuff. And then Andrew's like, that didn't happen, lady. And it obviously did not, obviously, because you can't even find the fucking news story about them. So, yeah, it's just funny. So I'll take things that never happened for 5,000, Alex. So, yeah. I will say, the only good thing about getting a bunch of paper plates is they get super dirty after doing this stuff because it's mostly a mix of the grease and the oils and stuff like that from all the shit. Gets embedded into plate is what it is then. It's better just toss these, honestly, too, for that matter, because that way you're not having to go and wash a bunch of grease and oil and stuff off of a plate then. Or you just take the paper plate and just chuck it in the trash then. Or if you have a fire pit, just burn the fire pit or whatever then. So, but, yeah, man. bunch of BS there. I had to blow my nose again, actually, on that one, because there was still some shit in it then. That's the one thing my sister got me, these Kleenex from Aldi's here, and I'll tell you what, compared to some of the other brands, they're not. It feels like I'm basically have like a hard cloth in my hand then, dude, because they're super rough and shit. Surprised I've got a paper cut off one of them at this point, honestly. But, yeah. The other ones are much better quality, though. So, and especially for the price of what you pay for these two, for the matter, it's like, bro, they're not worth it at all for that price, honestly. So, anyway. But, yeah, like I said, her and I will be hanging out this week. Hopefully we can have a good time together and be moving through some stuff and not have to deal with, much of emotion and stuff like that. Because now if she starts crying, I'm going to start crying. If I start crying, she's going to start crying, and it becomes a whole thing then. And, yeah. Hopefully I was able to have all that out the other day, and that was basically a prelude to not having to have a bunch of emotion come up then. But I'm hoping when my brother comes up, though, the three of us can head over to the cemetery, though. I still have the flower that I took off of Mom's reef the day that she was buried, which would have been I'm trying to think now. It was over a month ago now. And it's wilted, obviously, but I've had it in like a milk jar basically since then. And I know the jar itself stinks like shit. I'm going to toss that jar out, though, but I think it's preventing the flower from totally dying out is what it is then. And I'd like to put that, sort of preserved flower, I guess is what I call it right now, on Mom's gravesite then. As a, last reminder of things and whatnot. And just how it'd be a nice day is what it is then. But anyway. But yeah, so pretty much that's my plan right now, is hopefully we can go over there this weekend then, and for like not like a whole long time, but like it's pretty close. Like I said, it's pretty close to the house. It's like probably like a 5-mile drive or something from the house, or whatever the case be then. Maybe not even that far. Meanwhile, I'd probably have to walk like 5 miles, what it is to get there would be, though. So yeah, it's pretty close, man. It's like legitimately, like if I was to drive down that road and then up this road, 100 yards or so, give or take, probably, maybe a little bit longer than that. And then it's drive down that road. So it's like drive down my road to the stop sign, go take a left onto this other road, and then drive most of the way up it, then at a stop sign / light, and then take a right that way, and it's about halfway towards the next town over then, which is probably like another couple hundred yards then, and it's just that cemetery there is what it is then. So, but yeah, I thought about just walking up there the other day, but I know I couldn't make it, though. It'd be too much for me to go up there, man. So, which is unfortunate. I don't have a driver's license or a vehicle right now. That, well, I mean, I technically could. I could have illegally taken Mom's car, is what it is, but I'm not going to do that, obviously, because, just my fucking luck, some cops out there and pulls my ass over and is like, bro, this car is not registered to anyone, and, oh, you don't have a driver's license, and then he arrests me for a bunch of different stuff then is what it is, and pounds the vehicle is what it is then. So, yeah, I'm not going to have that be a thing done then. So, anyway. But yeah, it's a whole thing though, man. But yeah, I figured honestly, like, it would be nice for the three of us to go over there, because it would be the first time that we'd all be together then again. Since we were at the gravesite when they were going to bury Mom that day then. So it would be nice to see how it's looking then, because opposite the town was just a giant pile of dirt there, which I assume it'll probably still be kind of a giant pile of dirt then for a while yet, until it actually grows back over, though. But at the same time, it's like I'd kind of like to do a visit there, just because it'd be the first time visiting, both Dad and Mom together at the gravesite then. And yeah, it's just, it sucks that I can't sue anybody over her death, even though it was totally fucking big pharma related with those fuckers at Pfizer. So I'm gonna leave it at that, basically. You guys know what I'm talking about. So anyway. And obviously trying to bring a lawsuit against DeWine's ass for the Vax-Million bullshit would be almost impossible at this point. Even though that's exactly why she did it, is what it is, man. But anyway. Again, not trying to get into too much detail here, but, just speaking the truth there, YouTube, of what happened there. So, anyway. But yeah, it sucks, dude. It really does. But hopefully one day soon, every single one of these fucking assholes will get their comeuppance then. With Nuremberg trials by the American people, etc. there, man. It's as simple as that, really. So, anyway. Like I said, though, hopefully be back later this week then, and, whatnot. If YouTube tries to channel strike this stream, I'll hit them back on it and be like, no, not, bitch. All freedom of speech, assholes. That's exactly what it is at the end of the day. So, anyway. But that's where we're at for the day, though. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. I will be back at some point in the near future for the next one. And until later, have a good one, y'all. Stay safe, stay vigilant. Always be carrying one in the chamber. That was one thing my cousin I got in about the other day because I was talking to him about my gun. He's like, there's not one in the chamber, is there? And I'm like, why wouldn't there be? So I don't know if this motherfucker's carrying without one in the chamber, but if he is, it's like, bro, like, step your game up, son, because you ain't going to have time to wrap one into that fucking chamber, dude. Plus, you want to have the extra round just in case, Like, seriously. Like, depending on how much capacity of the magazine you have there, it could be 10 round, 12 round capacity, whatever the case be. It's like, well, would you want to have that, 11th or 13th round, depending here and there? You never know if there's going to be multiple people or not. Then you have to, deal with they're trying to assault you, etc. there. So, or it could be like the Eli Dickens situation there in Indiana, where it's, a couple misses and stuff like that, and he gets a bunch of I think it was like 8 rounds on target or something like that. That's what it was there with the Hellcat that he had. So it's like, yeah, why wouldn't you want to have as much capacity as possible then? Like, just in case you miss under duress and stuff like that. So anyway, but yeah, that being said, though, that's where I'm at for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you all on the next one. Have a great day. Hopefully you don't have any issues today with it being the first weekday after daylight savings time, because I know today, I believe, is usually what they call, I know there's a terminology for it, I can't remember it offhand, though, but it's essentially for, like, it's the first weekday after daylight savings time changes over, and it's people being all, tired and sluggish after losing an hour of sleep, what it is there. And so they'll be like drowsy behind the wheel kind of thing, and it'll be car crash day, basically, is what it is there. So hopefully you're not going to be involved in any of that kind of stuff then, today or tomorrow for that matter, even for that, or any time this week for that matter, actually. So, but yeah, always make sure you're getting the extra sleep you need, man. Don't be the guy that's out there, dozing off behind the wheel and shit like that. If you think you're about to get, fall asleep behind the wheel, whatever the case we do, pull over the side of the road, take a fucking nap for 10, 15 minutes, whatever it is then. And then get back on the road after that then. Pull in someplace, stay alive, to make sure you're not the guy that causes an accident, for that matter, is what it is then. So, but yeah, we need to end daylight savings time in general is what it is, dude. We should just be on this permanent time right now. Never wind them back again. It's all fucking stupid. It's all nonsensical. It's all leftover bullshit from the fucking World Wars, man, where we didn't have enough lamp oil and shit like that to actually fill the shit. And that's why they actually did the whole daylight savings time thing, is what it is there. So, yeah, we have the ability to have electrical grid up now, dude. Like, let's use it to our advantage. It's not some bullshit with farmers and like that, dude. It's all about fucking leftover, stupid ass, nonsensical crap, is what it is, dude. It's about government control. Fuck the fucking federal government. Fuck the fucking government entirely. It's time to do away with it completely and put us back on a good time period again, man. It's as simple as that, really. Have a good one, y'all. Later.